every video that I do, is live ones, of course, which I do. Most of my shows are live. I have to edit them. So usually they'll go private for 2 days to 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes me to get to them, depending on my schedule. If you guys don't want to wait and you want to have immediate access to the original recording without ads and without commercials, then you have to join YouTube by going through YouTube. You can't send me the money and I can't sign you up. You have to go through YouTube to do that yourself. And I think it's like $5 a month. I set it to the lowest tier possible so that everybody has equal access across the board. And if you don't mind waiting, then they're totally free. You don't have to pay for anything.
You can't hear me?
Here it is now. We get to start over. I have never had that thing toggle off before, and my audio toggled off on its own, and I never check it because I never have to. Okay, so I'll start over without the. I don't know if y'all can hear the music or not. I'm going to edit this anyway, and I'll put in the proper introduction. So tonight's topic comes to you because I was coming home from Lampasas the other day, and I saw a sign that said, Jesus is Lord. And it made me think about all the places where you've seen through TaNaCh or Christians would call the Old Testament. I used to call the Old Testament. We see there where the word Lord is respectably used by Jewish translators to avoid trying to pronounce the name, the ineffable name.
Yes, but they do the Jewish community a disservice when they do that.
Fair. Okay, gotcha. I mean, they shouldn't be practicing using it to begin with. You should be circumspect and use it properly. But anyway, that's the whole purpose of the title tonight. We will be ending at least on time for sure, because we have another show that's going to be triggered at 9 o'clock sharp. So we're going to at least have this thing stop streaming at least 8:45, 8:55 anyway. So,
yes,
but this topic should only take about half an hour anyway. So,
and I'm going to go back to bed.
I don't blame you. I think you should go get some rest, Rabbi. No doubt. Okay, so we will go ahead and get this ball rolling then. And thank you all for the insight there. No audio, appreciate that. Still have no idea why. I mean, I know I fixed. As soon as you said no audio, I could see it, but I've never seen that thing toggle off on its own before like that. It's just bizarre. So okay, all right, very good. Well, here we go. So we're going to start off. Where would you like to start, Rabbi?
Well, I think we should start with the whole concept of Jesus is Lord.
Okay.
Okay, because what happens is, no matter who does the translating, when they use the word Lord for the four-letter name for God, the Tetragrammaton, what Christians will say is, every single time it uses the word Lord for God, it means Jesus, because Jesus is Lord. Yep. So if it says Lord, it means Jesus. Okay, and there's a real problem with that etymologically. Okay, not just theologically, not just philosophically, not just historically, but etymologically. Okay, what does the word Lord mean? Okay, and the word Lord has absolutely nothing to do with deity. Think of King James English and the word Lord. Okay, the word Lord didn't mean
God
divine,
universe, right.
deity, God. It actually is derived from the word that means basically the baker or owner of the bread.
Interesting.
The one who owns the bread.
Right.
Okay. and exactly. Thank you tonight.
Tonight the owl.
Yeah, him. Tonight.
Him, her.
Tony the night owl.
Oh, Tony, tonight. Oh, that's so funny. I never took that.
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
there you go.
Exactly.
Lords
the
and ladies.
Old English used the word lords and ladies, and the word lord was a title to the owner of the estate, because the word lord was derived with the one who owns or baked the bread. And the word lady, by the way, was derived from I forgot what language, and it meant the preparer, the one who kneads the dough, Knead, kneads the dough. So it had to do with basically who owned the estate, who ran who owned the food, because it was grown or derived from the land that was owned. So the whole concept of Jesus is Lord and Lord is Jesus, and it is a much later derivation, or whatever the word is. Okay. Now, another element to this, okay, is I think I just saw somebody who said this. Wait a minute.
What
Yeah. Oh,
reference?
yes. All right. The word ADONAI. The word Adon, and there's a whole history of the name of the four-letter name for God and what we say instead of the actual Hebrew there. But the word Adon is the word master. Okay, and in the exact same way in English that the word master becomes the word Mr., as in Mr. Hall, okay, Mr. Federow, actually derived from the word master, Federow, Master Hall, okay, it's the same concept. It means master or mister. For example, even in modern Hebrew, if you go to Israel, William, they'll say Adon Hall.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The exact same way that we use MR, period, Mr., master.
I think Michael only mentioned it could also mean sir, like saying yes, sir, or yes, something like that.
Well, it's used to mean sir, but it doesn't mean sir. It means master.
Got it.
Okay? Sir is like when you're elevated to peerage, when you become a knight. Okay?
Yeah.
But now we say yes, sir, but it's used that way, but denotation and connotation are not the same thing. And I know I'm getting really technical and
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. All right. Now I want to show you something because I'm not a nice person.
Yes, you are.
There were plenty of times when I was growing up, and wherever this occurred, where I would see this. Can you see that regular?
Yes, I can. I'm gonna put you full screen.
It shows itself to be what it's supposed to say. It's not backwards or anything.
No, it's reading correctly.
Okay, so I would see this on bathroom walls, which amazed me.
That's really wild. Yeah.
They would put the name of their god, small g, small God. They would put the name of their god on a bathroom wall. The disrespect for that was amazing.
Sure.
But I would see this in all sorts of places. Okay, now I can't do this unless I use maybe my hand. Okay, can you see it? See what I did?
Looks like it says lard now.
Exactly.
Lard like grease.
with one pen move.
Oh, I see your point. Yeah.
One pen move, I would change what it said from Jesus is Lord to Jesus is lard.
Right.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Because it really would make me mad when they would, put proselytizing whatever in the middle of school bathrooms and stuff like that.
That's a good point.
So all you have to do is, as you're walking by, just go like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know, disgusting. Horrible.
Okay, so let's go with some scripture references that we can use. So
here's the problem. Okay, when Christians say that Jesus is Lord, okay, they are making the statement that man and God were combined in one. And the hallmark, as you heard me say repeatedly, the hallmark of the pagan world, the Greco-Roman idolatry world, was confusing gods with men.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
But that is the classic indicator of the pagan idolatry of the Greco-Roman world. I mean, how many people do we know whose mother was human, whose father was God, besides Jesus? Hercules. Mm-hmm. Okay. Semele, was it Semele? No, Alcmene. Alcmene was the mother, who was human. Zeus was the father. Perseus, whose mother was Danae, and whose father was Zeus. But Zeus did not make Danae pregnant with Perseus by the act of sex, so it was kind of like a virgin birth.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so the it's clear that all over the pagan, ancient, Greco-Roman, Teutonic, whatever world, there were confusing gods and men. Now we can go to the biblical verses and show how that's unbiblical at its basis.
I want to pardon me. I want to comment on what you just said with all the different other mystical gods, demigods that have the same concept that Christianity has. Now, notice I didn't say Judaism has; I said Christianity has it. But Deuteronomy chapter 12 tells is a commandment to the people of Israel, to the Jewish people: do not worship me the way other nations worship their gods, and yet they have a virgin birth, which blows my mind in every level you could possibly imagine. It's really strange. Okay.
See, it's not just a virgin birth.
Yeah.
It's also, Christians will say you have to have a blood sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. Something had to die to save everybody else. So you have to ask the question, who did the dying?
Right.
So who did the dying on the cross for humanity? Was it Jesus the God, or was it Jesus the human? God cannot die. My God can't die. Sorry about yours, as you heard me say repeatedly.
Yeah.
Okay. So all they have is not just the pagan idolatry of God becoming man and man being a God, but you also have the dying, saving God-man. Okay, you've got nothing but human sacrifice, because it was Jesus the human who did the dying for people, since God can't do the dying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's bring up some of the quotations if you got them handy.
Okay, so the first one, which ones of these? I know there's a few of these I want to pull up with Chabad because it shows the actual Hebrew. Some of them don't have the Tetragrammaton. Like I don't think Numbers 23:19 actually has the Tetragrammaton in the Hebrew. I don't believe anyway. Let me see. Where'd it go? I know I've opened it up here. Oh, here we go. Numbers 23:19. Numbers 23:19 says. Actually, I probably should put it on the screen, shouldn't I? Let me do that real fast. Give me 1 second. Scale that down so it'll fit. And okay, and Rabbi, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see it immediately without having to wait for it to come on the screen.
Fine.
Okay. It may be too small for you, but it's okay. Okay, Numbers 23:19 says, he took up his parable and said, 19. God is not a man that he should lie, nor is he immortal that he should relent. Will we say...
relent?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Would he say and not do, speak and not fulfill? So there's not
right
there, maybe the next verse or two, there's the Tetragrammaton, but in that verse, the Tetragrammaton.
No, but this is saying that God is not a man.
Right.
So if Jesus was supposed to have been God...
Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're covering it from the other angle. Good. I'm glad you're covering it that way. I didn't even think about that aspect. Good. God is not a man. Okay. Period, yeah. That's good.
But what exactly does this mean? That if God were a man and all men lie, then God, like all of the men, would also be a liar.
Okay.
Okay, when it says, nor is he immortal, that he should, I find this word to be interesting, relent. What does that mean? Give in? I think that's a very strange translation to Vayit Chanam. Usually that's translated as repent, not relent. Okay.
Well, what is Yakirmana?
What?
I'm sorry, Yakimena. What is that?
Right. Not to elevate, to raise up, to fulfill.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is further on.
To make happen, to whatever. But it's right above that and one word to the left that I'm talking about.
Okay. Ow. Okay. All right.
But the point is that if God were a man and men lie, then God too would be a liar because all men lie. So God being a man would also be a liar.
Okay.
If God were a man and all men sin, then God being a man like all other men would also be a sinner.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's the point, is that it distinguishes between God and man. So when they say Jesus the human was also God, it's in violation of the biblical principle that God is God, humans are humans, God does not become a human, and humans can't become God.
Gotcha. And that seems to be very clear.
It should be clear.
Yeah. Okay, next one, Hosea 11:9.
Which is actually a statement about God's not being vengeful.
Right.
Not being.
Let me put this back up. Sorry.
Can't think of the word.
November will mark 10 years TaNaCh Talk has actually been on the air. Very excited about that. To support my work here at this channel where I have all the different rabbis and teachers, and a lot of people go straight to the rabbis and support them. I also do need your help, so I really ask you to consider donating to this channel on a regular basis if you can. TaNaChTalk.com, there's a link there. There's also a Patreon link I'll probably have at the end of the video on an ad. I did an analysis over the past 6 months, and donation has dropped a lot on my side. Of course, I never talk about it. I only put the ad up there. I have gigs that I do in the evening to help pay the bills, and sometimes it requires more than less. But if you guys have some to spare, please send it in. I could certainly use it to help us out with this channel. Easy to anger. As long as suffering, I guess you could say. I will not execute the kindling of my anger.
My anger, I will not return to destroy Ephraim, for I am God and not a man. In your midst is the Holy One, and I will not enter a city. What does that mean?
Okay.
It means that God is not a human, and a human would let their anger get brighter, get hotter, get angrier. Okay? God is not a human because humans would come back to destroy the people who violated, and God is not a human who comes back to destroy.
Okay.
Okay? It says, I am God and not a man. Okay? The Holy One in your midst, and I will not enter into the city. Why? Because to enter into the city is to wreak revenge on the city. That's what this is talking about. So It's distinguishing between God on one hand and humans on the other. And when they make the claim Jesus is Lord, okay, or Jesus is Lord, then it's not distinguishing between God and humans, which the Bible does repeatedly.
Okay, Theology Life at 8:19 says, Hosea 11:9 says, I am the tetragrammaton and not a man, but it doesn't actually use the tetragrammaton there. It actually just says, Ani El, or El Enoki.
Okay, where was this?
This is 8:19. I think they were thinking Theology Life.
Wait, that's a great song. Hey, 19. Sorry, couldn't do this.
Hosea 11:9. I am. Am I in? This is 11:9, right? Yeah. But it doesn't use the tetragrammaton. But I think they thought it did or something like that. So.
Right.
But that's okay. Okay. So all right. So let's get rid of that.
But it doesn't matter. It still distinguishes.
It still says I am not a man.
God on one hand and humans on the other.
Yeah. Right. Perfect point. Perfect point. Okay. So there's Hosea, and then another one you mentioned was. Ezekiel 28. I don't know why I pulled them up in King James. Let me pull them up in the proper Hebrew here. Okay, Yehezkel, where are you? There's right there. And what chapter and verse was that? Sorry. Ezekiel
28.
28. Oh, yeah, thank you. Get back up here. I think scrolling way too fast for me. Good Lord. 28, there it is right there. Okay, and 28 verse.
Yeah.
Actually, I got it highlighted, I think. 28:2. Yeah, let me see. Okay, Son of Man, say.
What did I say? 3? I meant 2.
Actually, it may be 3. I don't know. I just highlighted 2. Let's see. It may not even be this verse. It might be a different one. So said the Lord, because your heart is.
It's another condemnation of the prince of the.
But you are a man and not a God. Oh yeah, it's a criticism of humanity, right?
Basically, it's anybody who thinks that they're God.
Yeah.
Okay. Any human who thinks they're God is going to get really badly punished.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay. God is not going to let that stand.
Right. Right.
Son of man, say to the prince of Tyre, so said the eternal God, because your heart is proud, and you said, I am God. I sit in the seat of God in the heart of the seas, but you're only a man and not God, yet you have made your heart like the heart of God.
That just reminded me of something. I want to look up something in the New Testament. 2 Thessalonians, I only remember this because it happened today. 2 Thessalonians 2:4. I think there was something there that triggered that thought. Who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so he as God sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Sounds like Jesus to me. but that's in the New Testament. It's kind of criticizing it. So, interesting. Okay, all right. Skipping on down to the next one. So that was Ezekiel 28, and now we're going to get to let's do we Exodus 3 yet? Exodus 3. I don't know what verse that was supposed to be. I don't have it highlighted.
No, that's I forgot already. We were going to.
That's
do
okay.
that at the beginning, but I forgot.
There's a couple more. Do we do? We got Isaiah. We got Isaiah 45. Was it 3 or something like that? Let me see. Hang on.
By the way, Christos at 807, during the Edwardian era of Great Britain, people referred to their superiors as my lord and my lady out of respect for them, but they didn't think they were speaking to a god. They knew they were speaking to human beings. The word lord, in the Edwardian era, had absolutely no reference to deity, to the divine, which was my point.
So on this one here, this is where it uses the translation of Lord over and over again here, but it's in Isaiah 45. But if you look at the actual Hebrew, the Hebrew doesn't say Yehoshua or Yeshua or Yashke or Jesus. It literally tells you who the Lord is. It's the Tetragrammaton. It's the creator of the universe.
Right.
And
by the way, bring up Isaiah 45:7 first.
Oh, 7, sorry. That's what it was, yeah. Okay. Who makes... Oh, that's the one it was. Yeah, I am the Lord who makes all of these things, including the evil, right? I am the Lord.
And if they say that Jesus is Lord, then they're saying that Jesus creates evil.
Right.
I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the eternal, the four-letter name, I, the Tetragrammaton, do all these things. So if Jesus is supposed to be Lord, and here it says the Lord creates evil, they're saying that Jesus makes evil.
Right. Yep. There you go. So
it's very selective. When they start making applications, they get very selective on verses and how they apply.
So again, you have the Lord here, that's Tetragrammaton here, then you have the Lord here, Tetragrammaton here. So, in no place is any in the context of a deity is it talking about anybody except for the creator of the universe. So it said the Lord.
And then they're going to say, well, Jesus was there at the creation of the world and whatever else.
But what's the verse that says that I was alone, saith the Lord? There was no one with me? That's a psalm or something like that? Should I look that up? Maybe I should look that up. I'll look that up while we talk.
Why not?
Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead and keep talking.
There were some other verses, but I forgot.
Oh, that's okay. I'll pull them up for you here. I want to see Isaiah 44. Let's see. What made you think? Oh, here we go. Yep, Isaiah 44:24. Let me just put that on the screen real fast here.
Thus saith the Eternal, and that's the four-letter name for God, your Redeemer, and He that formed you from the womb. I am the Lord that maketh all things, that stretch forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself.
Ooh, that hurts. That should hurt if you're a Christian.
Well,
you thought that was
they're just going to say, well, that's Jesus who did all the, whatever. That's the part of God who did the creating or something like that.
Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, so other ones we have Psalms. In fact, thank you, Miriam brought up Psalm 110. That was a good one. Psalm 110:1.
Oh, yes.
I forgot about that one. That's good.
So
the word of the Lord to my master. And the Christians love twisting this one to use it for Jesus, but it literally tells you here, La David Mizmor. So this right here, the Tetragrammaton here. So it's not a generic term. It's a specific name of who the Lord actually is referring to there.
It's Hashem said to ADONAI.
Right.
It's not the repetition of the word that they think it is.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And then, okay, cool. So there's that one. Let's get rid of that one. And then what else we got?
And by the way, when it says a psalm of David, it can also be a psalm for David. So David didn't write it. And it can be a psalm dedicated to David, a psalm to David, for David. Only of David means David actually wrote it because it's his possession.
Right. And so here's Ezekiel, Yechezkel, chapter 28, verse 1. The word of the Lord came to me saying, so the Lord there again, the Tetragrammaton right there. So, and it does use ADONAI or like for persons, but again, when it's when it says here and it cross references here, it tells you that's actually
but
them.
Christians warp everything. All they're going to do is they're going to say, "See, the word of Jesus came into me, saying." So the prophet Ezekiel, they're just going to put their spin on it, no matter what happens. It's what they do.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to close that one out, and let's close these search windows out. And we've got, we did Isaiah 45:11, didn't we? I think so, yes. We did Exodus 3. Did we do Exodus 3?
Exodus 3, I thought.
I may have accidentally pulled that one up, actually. Yeah, I think that was an accidental pull up. So, but anyway, you get the point. So it doesn't take much to debunk the idea.
All right, but this is actually important.
Okay.
Exodus 3.
Oh, well, let me go back to it then. I actually closed it out. Let me open it up in Chabad then, just so we'd have a Hebrew translation there. Okay, let's get here. Shemot, chapter 3. Okay, all right, you should have it on your screen now.
Whoops.
What verse are you thinking about?
It's the whole story.
Okay.
But we can. So Moses, this is verse 3. So Moses said, "Let me turn now and see this great spectacle. Why does the thorn bush not burn up?"
Right.
The Lord saw that he had turned to see, and God called to him from within the thorn bush and said, "Moses, Moses." And he said, "Hineni, here I am." Okay. Now verse 5. Can you pull that up, elevate it?
You mean it's? I'm sharing my screen with you, so you could instead of watching the video.
And he said, "Do not draw near here. Take your shoes off your feet, because the place upon which you stand is holy soil." And he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, God of Jacob." And Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look towards God. Okay. And the eternal, again, that's the four-letter name for God, said, "I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry because of their slave drivers, for I know their pains." Okay.
Yep.
Head down and go to... here we go. Let's go to verse 13.
Okay. 13's at the top. Okay, and Moses said to God, Behold,
I come to the children of Israel, and I say to them," you just moved it past where I can...
You're not watching my screen share. You're watching YouTube. Watch the screen share I gave you. Because the screen share it's real time. You see what I'm looking at on my screen share.
All right. Of course, I lowered that, and I can't figure out how to get it back.
Oh, okay. That's why. I got you.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I think I got it. Wait a minute. And Moses... Oh, here it is. Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing the whole quote. I'm only seeing a part of the... Okay, and Moses said to God, "Behold, I come to the children of Israel, and I say to them, the God of your ancestors has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "Ehyeh asher ehyeh, I will be what I will be." And that is as clearly in the future tense, or what's the fancy term? Imperfect tense. Future tense, it's not "I am what I am," it's "I will be what I will be."
Right.
And he said, "So shall you say to the children of Israel, I will be, have sent me to you." What is going on here? Okay, this is a setup for something that's coming up. Okay, it's the children's joke, where one kid says, "I'm hungry," and the other kid says to the the first kid, "Hello, hungry, how are you?" No, that's exactly what's going on here.
Right.
God is saying, "I will be what I will be. Tell them I will be sent you," as if the word "I will be" becomes God's name. Would you put it back up?
Oh, on screen, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing and reshare it again and see if that fixes it, because it's easier for me to. Because if I don't, because you're never going to see whenever I scroll properly.
See, I have no way to make the Skype part bigger. So it's only showing a little section of the page.
I see what you mean. So you kind of depend on it. Okay, gotcha.
I will be what I will be. So shall you say to the children of Israel, I will be, sent me to you. It's the old hello hungry. One kid says, I'm hungry. The other kid says, hello hungry, as if hungry became that person's name. God says, I will be what I will be. And then God says, tell them, I will be, has sent me to you. And then in verse 15, you have very, very specific thing. Okay? God said further to Moses, so shall you say to the children of Israel, the four-letter name for God is the God of your four ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is how I should be mentioned in every generation. Now, and I wish I had a way to show this to you on print, okay? We say the word ADONAI instead of saying the four-letter name, trying to pronounce the four-letter name for God. But if you take a look at the four-letter name for God, when it's printed with vowels, what is going on is that they take the vowels from the word ADONAI and put them on the four-letter name for God. It doesn't create an impossible pronunciation. It creates a difficulty in the pronunciation because now you have the third letter to be pronounced in two different ways simultaneously. If you don't watch what you're doing, it can be confusing when you see two vowels on one consonant. What is going on is that the symbol for the O sound, cholim, is actually goes with the hey, the first hey, and the kamatz underneath the third letter. Okay, thank you, that's perfect. Okay, goes with the vav. But when you first look at it, you go, wait a minute, that's like trying to pronounce one letter two different ways at the same time. It's to make you person hesitate. It's doable, okay, which is how you get the erroneous and actually rather stupid Yehovah, okay. It is never Yehovah. That's just wrong, okay. But they took the vowels off of Adonai and put the vowels onto the four-letter name for God, the Yud, the Hey, the Vav, and the Hey. And it makes you hesitate, go, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to pronounce that. I'm supposed to say Adonai instead, A-O-A. And there's grammatical rules why it's the kataf, patach, and it becomes the shva, as we see it, as you got it on the print.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's because the German Christian biblical scholars, so to speak, in the 1800s didn't understand this when they were reading the Hebrew and trying to transliterate it into German pronunciation, by the way. That's why there's a J instead of the Y, because they had, how do you indicate the Y sound in German? It's the J.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know any better, you pronounce it as it's written, and as it's written, they took the vowels off of one word and put it on the other. And I remember my rabbi teaching me this when I was a child. So this whole Yahweh, all the weird mispronunciations, misrepresentations, are just simply wrong. So, all right, but and it's too bad we couldn't, but then it creates other problems. At any rate.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I hope that was clear.
Yeah, that was clear. So I want to keep this particular video single topic. So if we don't have any other things to cover in context of the title, we can go ahead and wrap up. And we'll just make this a single topic.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, give you some time to get some more rest and get back to bed and take care of yourself. So, guys, thank you all for tuning in. In about 20 minutes or so, the video from Sunday morning with Rabbi Singer will premiere, which means that it's not live. It's only been seen once. It hasn't been made public yet, but after tonight, it will remain public. And I'm going to put this little thing in chat real fast. just so a lot of people know.
Brother, did you see 836 Mark Thrice's? Clearly, anytime a Christian says it's clearly this, they're really pushing and stretching.
Gotcha.
You know, that's like saying, William Hall spoke on the video, and William focused the camera. Well, that's two Williams. One who spoke on and one who focused the camera.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nice. Good deal. Okay, so to explain my last comment in chat, every video that I do is live ones, of course, which I do. Most of my shows are live. I have to edit them. So usually they'll go private for 2 days to 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes me to get to them, depending on my schedule. If you guys don't want to wait and you want to have immediate access to the original recording without ads and without commercials, then you have to join YouTube by going through YouTube. You can't send me the money and I can't sign you up. You have to go through YouTube to do that yourself. And I think it's like $5 a month. I set it to the lowest tier possible so that everybody has equal access across the board. And if you don't mind waiting, then they're totally free. You don't have to pay for anything. So that's kind of how it is. But I can certainly use your donations for sure. That ad will be coming up shortly. So, Rabbi, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to you should have a refuah shlema yourself, and we look forward to seeing you same time, same place next week, Hashem willing. And guys, don't forget, about 20 minutes or so, keep your eye on the YouTube channel for Rabbi Tovia Singer from yesterday's class. Monday. Yeah, yesterday evening's class. Thank you. All right, Rabbi, have a good night. Thank you all. Peace, everybody.
Hello, my dear friends. Hope this message finds you well. If you like the way this channel is going, and the channel has been a blessing to you, please consider supporting the channel by going to the website, TaNaChTalk.com. TaNaChTalk.com. Thank you once again for your time and for supporting TaNaCh Talk. Shalom.
חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד. איפוק זו העוצמה, ויתור זו הגדולה, השאיפה